Welcome to the Resistance Broadcast, everybody. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Today it is Thursday, where we get into a lot of interesting discussions, sometimes rabbit holes, sometimes stuff right in the surface, sometimes more takes on news. But either way, we're chatting Star Wars, all different sorts of stuff. I'm John. Thanks for joining us. James and Lacey with me as always. We are playing our game today called Who Are You? It is our Star Wars movie quote guessing game, but we're adding a little ingredient to the mix, which is going to be The Mandalorian. So that is now an option for the game. This week, it is going to be Lacey delivering the quotes, and it's going to be me versus James, and we're going to go head-to-head in our game. And we hope you play along at home so that when you score better than us, you can brag and about how much better you did than we did. But how are you guys doing today? What's up?
I'm great. I'm not playing.
Yeah, that's always the thing. I like the weeks when you're not playing because, I mean, it's fun to play, but I have always enjoyed being the person who knows the answer, and I'm trying to like give people hints so they can figure out, certain things and stuff. There's a game I always used to play with people where I would have them try to guess the best picture winners of like certain years and stuff. And it's always fun when I'm like looking at the list. I'm like, there's 3 more you're missing.
Yeah.
I enjoy being that person.
Don't you feel like that's how Alex Trebek feels all the time?
Yeah. Has he ever been on Jeopardy? Like, that would be great.
I think before he leaves or retires,
actually, that would probably be
he should do one round.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I remember like when Regis used to be on there on Celebrity Jeopardy, those were like the best episodes because he would complain about his buzzer not working and all that sorts of stuff. But no, yeah, I mean, this game is fun. I like it even when I'm playing it because it's like that's a section of the show notes I don't have to really write. It's just kind of like, boom, we're playing Who Are You? But I do like giving the quotes too. But I think the hardest part about giving the quotes is what you just said, James. You know the answer. So you're viewing it from it's easy because you know it. So you're hoping it's not too easy when you're giving it. That's how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel when you're giving quotes. Lacey, do you feel like sometimes, this is going to be too easy or this might be too hard? Or
Yeah, sometimes some straightforward information, little insider info. In previous rounds, I've picked quotes that are so hard that no one can get them. So this time I tried to not do that and picked some ones that might be a little tough, but then some that kind of give more hints of who might have said it or what movie it's from. And that's my own fault for just being super competitive, even when I'm not playing, that I just want to see them fail.
Oh, geez, crash and burn.
I enjoy picking ones that are out of the box, but I found on the last time when I was the person that these two did not like the out of the box ones at all.
We did not.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And out of the box, one of them, like, I don't even know if I even asked this one or not actually during the match, but one of my out of the box was a quote from one of the crawls. I was like, nobody said it. It was a crawl line of dialogue.
Did we? Did we reject that? Did we?
It was one of the. I already got the hint that you guys didn't like my other out of the box one, so I didn't do that one because I was like,
so
they're
funny?
definitely not gonna like that one.
You keep saying out of the box, and all I'm thinking about is that kid show from like years ago named Out of the Box. Do you remember that show?
Was it called
No.
Out of the Box? No.
Out of the box. Out of the box.
Oh. Yeah, that does kind of sound.
What was that?
You're saying that.
It was like a show where they had a box for it, and you'd go in, and it was like an
clever
actual
title.
full.
Oh,
fort.
yeah. It looked like a crappy box fort, but then when you went inside, it was like, is this a mansion? Like,
It's out of the box.
What was the premise of the game?
It's not a game.
no,
it's
it's not a game.
Show.
It's a show.
I thought it was like a game show for kids.
Out of the box. Out of the box.
No. Yeah, it's like Barney and Friends or something like that.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like
Gullah
it's
Gullah
just-
Island, yeah.
Yeah.
Eureka's Castle.
I was thinking of have you guys remember that show Wonder Chosen?
No.
It was an adult show, but it was themed like Sesame Street or Muppets and stuff like that. So they would like all their skits were presented as a kids show, but it was clearly like adult humor and stuff like that. one of the things was they had this like reporter kid, and it was called the show was called Beat Kids, and the song was like kids on the street, kids on the beat, beat kids, and it was like two fists that said beat kids on it.
What?
And stuff. But then the kid would like, it was like an 8-year-old or something, and they would go around and they were like asking like people on Wall Street, they're like, have you exploited anybody today? Like, and like just clearly adult humor, but like posed as like a kid's show. And there was like this puppet who would like, it was kind of like Champ, or what's his name? The dog.
Insult dog? Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. It was kind of like him, but like the puppet would be like, it looked like Grover or something, but he would like get in people's faces.
What was his name? The insult comic dog.
Triumph.
Triumph. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You guys are
anyway.
You guys ever see that show Lots of Given?
No.
It's because I just made it up, just like you two just made up those shows. No one ever heard of it.
Okay, out of the box, Gullah Gullah Island, not made up. Actual shows, have watched them. So the other show that no one ever knows that I know is Zoobilee Zoo. No one knows that show. I know that show.
Have you ever heard the show Today's Special?
No. John, what was
That's
the one
a real
you just
show.
made
That's
up a minute
actual real
ago?
show. What? What's the
What
name?
was the made up name you just did a second ago?
Lots of Given.
Lots of Given. I thought for sure that was a made up name, and it was like you were gonna say like because I've lots of given too much time to this or something.
I was gonna say segment.
Yeah.
Set up for like. Have you guys ever seen that show Let's Move On?
You ever heard of that show We'll Love the?
What?
We'll Love the Force, which is our next segment that we're
That's the best.
To.
His was better than yours.
It doesn't matter.
Knock, knock. Who's there? We'll love the who.
We'll love the Force. James, do you want to do a little?
Let's do it.
Little Will of the Force.
I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it.
Guys, Will of the Force this week is back. John, hit me up. What is it?
It's back, baby.
Will of the Force.
You go deep for that. Go deep down.
Yeah.
Will of the Force.
Sometimes I have to mute my mic and cough after.
Yeah. Will of the Force is a great segment, which is actually kind of, in a way, brought to you by, actually more than just Will of the Force, really the show is brought to you by a group of specific people called the Resistance Officers. And you can become a Resistance Officer by heading over to our Patreon page and joining at just the $2 level to become a Resistance Officer. Now, there are lots of things that you get with that, by the way. I know you guys hear us talk about it all the time, but it's true. I mean, at some levels, there's like specialty merch. We have like calls, private calls and stuff. There's a Discord where everybody's chatting, always talking. Another one of the features that you get just right away, besides, everything that I just said and extra exclusive videos and all sorts of other stuff, is that levels 2 and up are able to submit questions to this particular segment, Will of the Force, and we have 4 questions coming up on this particular segment here, and 2 of those questions are brought to you by Resistance Officers, which is awesome. And while we're here and we're talking about the officers, there are a group of them known as the Generals, and they are very, very important to us, which is why I wanted to give them a quick shout out. And this week, because we were talking a little bit about out of the box, I'm going to say hi to a thank you to our Generals, and that's Kendall Gellner, Russ Harbison, Bethany, Jetta Rosewater, Michael Gaines, Micah Harrison, John Reese, David Probus, Neil Shaw, Jeremy Myers, Andrew Staley, and of course Carmelo. Yes. So those are the Generals out of the box, doing it a little bit differently. Let's get into thank you very much. Let's get into our questions. This first one, just like I was talking about,
lots of given thanks.
General Beer Fett Bethany wanted to know, will we see what happens to the Mandalorian covert? Is this right? Covert? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In season 2 of The Mandalorian. Okay, so Lacey, I'm going to start with you on this one. Do you think we're going to see what happened to that group of Mandalorians in season 2?
So I'm blanking right now in the sense of like, I think we will, but not as a group, because what we saw in season 1 was them piling up all their armor after they had done what they needed to do. But we hear from the armorer in the trailer. But then, as we've said, James, those are quotes from season 1. I think you will see them, but I don't think you'll see all of them. I think Din Djarin will run into like 1 or 2 people from that, but it won't be the whole group together. So I think it's like we will, but not the entire group.
I could see that. John, what do you think?
So I don't know if I took this wrong way. I took it as that it was the location, like the base, like that hidden underground.
Oh, do you want me to answer it that way?
I don't know. This is how, I mean, Bethany sent the question.
I think he's left and we won't see that again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, because they already like broke their rules when they all came out to save him in chapter 3. And the rule was only one goes out at a time. So I don't know how important the covert is going to be again. I know like honestly, to me in my mind, it's a hallway. And then at the end, there's a burner. And she melts things.
The armorer.
Yeah, like I don't see that there's like bedrooms or like a cafeteria. Like we haven't seen that part yet. So I don't know.
Vending machine room with an ice machine.
Don't you? I feel like with a second season in the show, we're going on more of an adventure where we're going on more locations than maybe back to that base or whatever. I don't know if it's important what we see happens to the covert. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe it's a misunderstanding of the word covert, but I took it more like what Lacey was thinking, like the people. The covert being like the group of Mandalorians. I'd be interested to see if you want to pop in, Bethany, at some point, whether it's the comments of this video or wherever, or in your special exclusive general Patreon chat. But I took that as the group, and I was sitting here and I was thinking, you know, it feels like they kind of set up in season 3, hey, you guys are exposing yourself. We're going to have to move everything. And then Parviza being like that's fine. Don't worry about it. This is the way. We're going to make it happen. That to me was kind of we're all still a group, and I don't know, like we're all a team and we'll move together. So even though we didn't see them for the rest of the season, I got the impression that like those people would theoretically show back up, especially the armorer in this particular case, who seems to kind of in a way be like the leader of this small group. And I think there's a chance that when looking for guidance, you could see the Mandalorian return to that person, whether it be at this location or not. Because I agree with you, John. I think that's like the old cave. That's the den. They moved out. It's gone. There's no reason to go back. But I took the question as the people, and will we see that group of Mandalorian and how they've been, and where have they gone? What did they do? How did they set up shop elsewhere? What's their story? That's how I took the question. So
maybe
we'll see. Next one is after The Mandalorian. So once the show is done as a whole, will Baby Yoda, aka Tiny, make his next appearance in a theatrical film or in another Disney Plus series? John, I'm bouncing back at you. What do you think? Disney Plus or big screen? He's got to think about it. He must not read the show notes.
Big screen.
Big screen.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Why is that?
I think they're realizing how big of a draw he is, and where they make their most money on their content properties, assuming movie theaters still exist, would be a big movie. And if Star Wars movies are a big draw as it is, you add this little guy in there and people are like, oh, I gotta go see that guy in the big screen. Oh my god, at least once. Like, we gotta go see Baby Yoda in this movie, especially now that he's older and he's teaching people the Force, and he's gonna meet up with Rey. And wait, what? No, but yeah, I'm gonna say theatrical film. See him.
Lacey, what do you think?
I agree. I think Disney recognized pretty early on how big of a draw Baby Yoda was to not just people that watch the show, but I would even stress that people that haven't watched the show know exactly what Baby Yoda is, and they're obsessed with Baby Yoda, even though they're not gigantic fans of The Mandalorian itself.
Yeah.
So Disney, as we can see from merchandising, clothing, apparel, everything, toys, etc., they don't want Baby Yoda to go away anytime soon. And if they have the opportunity to make a film where they're going to make tons of money and more merchandise, they're going to do it.
Man, those are such good answers. Because John, when you said the monetary thing behind Baby Yoda, I was like, dang, that is a good point. My only concern with the movies is where does that place him? Now, granted, they could do even younger Baby Yoda, right, 50 years before, but you got to think that the next big movie would have to take place before The Force Awakens or after The Rise of Skywalker, you know what I mean? Like in that area. And I don't think they're touching that area for big screen films.
Which area?
Well, I said before The Force Awakens or after The Rise of Skywalker, but really there's only like a year span there anyway. So it's like that whole kind of era. Because I think that's too close to the current properties that they've done before, and more likely the next feature films are going to go like before the prequels, or like way before the prequels, or more likely like just before A New Hope and after Revenge of the Sith, which I like to play in that sandbox as well. So I think by default, even though I agree with your reasons, I think you got to go TV show. They're more likely keep him on a small pace and probably continue to push their television projects and their Disney Plus, their straight to consumer stuff, using Baby Yoda as their poster child, if you will.
So,
I don't know.
So like you're saying, if they do
I'm
like
probably wrong.
The rumored spin-off of the rumored appearance of Ahsoka, and she like takes him. Like,
yeah, or even still, like maybe they do play in that time frame, but it's like they're not going to do a movie in that time frame. Yeah. So they could go like, our next show, it actually takes place after The Rise of Skywalker, and it has Baby Yoda in it, but he's all grown up. But it's like, it's not as like dire of a crazy big trilogy, type of story, because that other thing just happened.
Yeah.
The big First Order battles.
Well, either way,
so I don't know.
We all, I guess, believe we're gonna see him after the Mandalorian.
Getting him back. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Next one is another Resistance officer question. This submission comes from Commander Clayton J. Lancaster.
Hey, what up, Clayton?
Wanted to know. Seeing how deep Filoni and Faverau go into the Star Wars universe, do you think we will ever see any EU or Legends characters make an appearance in The Mandalorian Seasons 2 through 4? Supposing it goes to 4 too. I would personally like to see a cameo from Dash Rendar. Let me think here. How did I do this order? So, Lacey, I think it's going back at you first on this one.
Hey, Clayton, thanks for the question. I think that they will, because it's just an easy thing to throw in any type of background character from any EU or Legends stuff that is something for fans that they see and they're like, oh my gosh, it's that character, but it doesn't have to be something as obvious that you would then know what it is. Like, I feel like Filoni and Faverau like to throw in those random characters, especially Filoni. So yeah, I think they will.
All right.
I don't know what those characters are. That's where I draw the line.
Dash Rendar is who he wants to see. John, do you think we'll see Dash Rendar or any other EU Legends characters?
This is so tricky because Lacey's saying that offers the option of it just being a background like cameo, like, oh, is that person back there? And they're like, yeah, sure. So that could be a yes. But in terms of like a Queel, like that level of a character, I'm gonna say no on that, because like Filoni like almost put his foot down saying like, George never considered that stuff as canon, and he was very serious about that. But then you have Faverau, who likes the deep cut stuff, but I think he likes to borrow things and create something new out of it. I don't think Faverau likes the idea of copying someone's character. Like, look at, they created the Mandalorian because they couldn't use Boba Fett. So I think I'm gonna say no, and also like I think Toro was almost like a tribute to Dash Rendar in a way. He had the same outfit.
Toro was terrible.
Yeah, but he was like pretty much Dash Rendar. If you look at them side by side, they're almost like the same guy, in my opinion. But so I'm gonna lean towards no, though that caveat there, like Lacey saying, like if it's a background thing, you'd be like, yeah, that's that person. There's Mara Jade back there at the bar, like maybe, but substantial characters, I don't think so.
For funsies, I think I'm gonna go yes on this. I think that in the course of 2 or 3 or 4 seasons or something like that, I think what could not that it needs it, but like bring a little goodwill to the show. If you look at something like Rebels, you know what I mean? Like Rebels was doing fine in season, and especially in season 2. After season 2, people were like, dude, that show does not need any help. And they were like, but we're still going to bring in Thrawn. And I think that was a big win for the series, but mostly for fans, you know what I mean? And it really like brought people in to re-canonize some of these characters. And I think that if and that was, you know, under Filoni's watch, and he's kind of
was that before or after the books came back, just for clarification, the Throne?
That was after the first book, but that was it, I think. Or actually, it might have been the same day. I think the same day they announced the book and the Return to Rebels.
Oh, okay.
So it might, I could be wrong on the timeline there, but I think all in all, what could be really cool here is, you know, kind of like back, another example too, the Clone Wars. I remember back when the Clone Wars was first airing, I didn't watch it at that time, but I remember seeing commercials that were like, Chewbacca's gonna be in the show. Come and check it out. And it was just to help like win people over. And I feel like potentially, you know, like a character like Ahsoka or whatever, some of these Rebels characters could be that right now. But I think long term they could do something really cool with like, you know, some of these EU characters. Like maybe they bring in like Amara Jade somehow, and somehow she's connected to Luke, or I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm with you, and I'm excited to see it. I know they probably won't do Mara Jade. Last question, though. Speaking of Mara Jade, will George Lucas, will his treatments or stories for his sequel trilogy ever see the light of day? And that includes, we are going to include here the possibility that they eventually could get leaked or somehow released in that format. But will we ever actually have the opportunity as fans to somehow or another get our hands on that and actually take a look at what his treatments for the sequel trilogy were? John, starting you off on this one, what do you think?
I actually asked this because I want to know what people think, because I don't know how I feel about this, because I know people know the stories. You know, J.W. Rinsler told us he knows them completely. I don't think we'll ever get them officially released by Disney or Lucasfilm. And I don't know if George Lucas is spiteful enough to do it. But I just have this weird feeling that, like, at some point they will, because I can't see those never seeing any sort of leak or light of day. Like, they're just going to, like, burn in a fireplace somewhere as though there was only one paper copy. Like, so I'm going to lean towards yes, but I'm probably wrong. They probably will go to the grave with George or whatever in some metaphorical sense. But I'm going to say yes, just because I have this weird feeling that someday someone wants to start a fire and they'll pop out.
All right, Lacey, what do you think?
I agree with John. I mean, we didn't think we'd ever see Colin Trevorrow's script, and that whole thing got leaked out like legit the next month after the movie came out. So I'm going to say yes, not from George, not from Disney, but like John said, people like J.W. Rinsler have read it, they know it, and I'm sure he's not the only one. All it takes is for someone to write an anonymous post somewhere of what they read, and it's out. So I'm going to say yes.
Interesting. I'm actually going to say no on this one. The reason is because Lacey brings up a point that there's a lot of people out there and it only takes one person. But I actually kind of use Rinsler as an example. He knows it, and he's not going to tell it. And I kind of feel like enough time has passed since we originally got the news that The Force Awakens was not going to use George's script, and all the impulse of trying to figure out what was his story, what was his version, has already passed. The Colin Trevorrow thing is another example that you brought up. Like, I think the reason that happened so quickly after was because there was spite and there was this animosity towards the situation. And I feel like I think it's safe to assume, while we don't know, it's safe to assume that he himself helped, facilitate, yeah, that
out
process
of the box.
of it getting leaked, yeah, out of the box.
Out of the box.
So many people are gonna link to the theme
Out
song
of the box.
in the comments.
Out of the box.
No, but I think that there's kind of a separate story to be said about that. And I think when it comes to these stories, the people who do know them, who have the liberty of knowing them, are just, I don't know, they're like people who understand what's at Area 51 or something. They know what it is and they know why they can't tell it. It's like a respect or a bigger understanding of like, yeah, I don't want to leak this information.
Like, who killed Kennedy?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I
Out
think that,
of the box.
yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald, I think. Single shooter.
I think it's just kind of one of those things that there are people who know, and the people who know aren't going to tell. And that's the way that it is.
That's
Right
fair.
on.
So
All right.
that's it for Will of the Force. Let's head into the next segment, which I think is going to be a lot of fun, right? Because this is a fan favorite segment for sure, right?
Yeah.
Who are you?
So this is Who Are You? Our Star Wars movie quote game. Me versus James. So Who Are You? Our Star Wars movie quote guessing game. This week, quotes were gathered by Lacey, who will host the segment as James and I will be facing off. Lacey will give us both the same 9 quotes from Star Wars movies, which we are now including The Mandalorian, and we will have to guess who said them, which character. We will have to each write down our guesses and then show it and say it at the same time on Lacey's count to 3, or however you prefer to count, Lacey. Each question is worth 2 points. Each person gets 1 hint to use throughout the whole game, so only 1. The hint is always what movie or show that quote is from, and it will be texted to just that person. Now, if that person guesses right after using their hint, that answer now is only worth 1 point, but the other person who obviously didn't get the hint still gets 2 points if they get it right. The person with the highest score at the end of the 9 rounds is the winner. If there is a tie, each question thereafter is sudden death. Please play along with us at home or in your car, wherever you're listening or watching, and let us know in the comments of our YouTube video what your score was. Don't necessarily spoil the answers right away if you're an early watcher, because we want people to be able to get it themselves. But leave your score. Let us know what you got for your total score. I'm sure you're going to beat us, so you can brag away. And then, of course, hit us up on Twitter, too. Say, I scored this, and who are you? And let us know at RBATSWNN. Quote tweet our episode with your score, whatever you want to do. Brag away. Or if you stunk, that's okay, too. It's a fun game. So we're going to get into it right now. Lacey, you have the floor.
All right, guys, you ready to get started? So like
No.
So like John said, I have 9 quotes. I have 12 actually, in case we go into sudden death, but I have 9 quotes chosen from the movies and The Mandalorian, so all live action stuff. And I'm going to read the quote and they have to guess who it is. All right. John's getting into his game mode with his sweatshirt up.
I forgot
really
to
tight to your
mention
neck
this.
though.
Last week we were talking about Limp Bizkit, and John like looks like Fred Durst. He's got like a red shirt on, like a backwards cap, and he's like talking into the microphone.
Last week I did?
Yeah, you were talking about Limp Bizkit, and you're like, I'm not gonna say back in the day I didn't get that record, and you like look like Limp.
Well, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I did it all for the Nookie.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So the first quote.
You
You guys ready? Got
Yeah.
your pens, markers, whatever, crayons?
I do.
All right.
Crayons.
John, do you mind keeping score?
Yeah, I'll keep score.
I bet
No,
I
yeah, I'll keep
score
All right.
too.
The first quote is, "It means more to me than you will ever know." It means more to me than you will ever know. That is the quote. That is the first quote of the Who Are You game.
I think I know it.
Oh, he's so confident.
James,
When
did
you
write
know it, just put
something
a
down?
thumbs up or something.
Okay.
James still thinking.
I don't know it.
So we're off to a early start here.
Off to the races.
Yeah.
But you know, but I do the classic thing where it's like, your first instinct pops something in your head and you write it down, and then as more sand drops down the hourglass, I'm like,
Sand through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives.
I'm like, wait, do I even know this quote at all?
So
I do that every time.
I'm gonna write down what Chewbacca thought when Maz gave him the medal.
Every time, and you guys know this at home, when I show my answers, is like I always do what John says. I have the right name, I cross it out, put a wrong one, cross it out, put the right one, cross it out, and then I end up with the wrong one.
That's definitely like part of the mental aspect of the game. You just like start second guessing yourself, and then third guessing yourself, and then you don't know what's going on. What's the quote again?
Yep. So the quote is, "It means more to me than you will ever know."
I may very well have this wrong, and but I'm sticking to my instinct.
Oh, I might have written that too small.
It's okay. You
But
ready?
It'll be there. Yeah. All right.
So reveal on after 3. So 1, 2, 3.
Moff Gideon.
It is Moff Gideon from
Boom.
Mandalorian Chapter 7, The Reckoning, I believe is what it's called.
Oof.
I had to get
I
started
sat there
early.
And I racked every person I could think of, and then I was like, "Oh, wait, let me go through the Mandalorian real quick." That makes sense.
Yeah. So he's at the standoff part with the crew, and he's saying that he's here for the baby, and they have the baby on the blurg, and it's cutting parallels between the two scenes to cause tension. All right, up next.
That was a very tense scene. Now that you mention it,
It is. I watched it today, so that's how I know.
And by the way, I don't want to cut into the game too much, but someone brought up the fact of that off-screen kill when the two troopers are talking about it.
Yep.
That somebody interrupts Gideon and he just kills them for just interrupting them.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we're probably going to see some of that like happen now.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 2. So we're on 2 of 9. Right now it's 2-2. The quote is, "We think hitting the cannons might ignite the main reactors." We think hitting the cannons might ignite the main reactors. The question is, which reactors is it? So, people at home checking in. This is question number 2. We'll see how you're doing so far. I feel like sometimes we do this and people are like, "Those were so easy." I hope you, I can promise that they're all from different stuff, so. The quote again for the people at home: "We think hitting the cannons might ignite the main reactors." It's tricky getting quotes, I'm not going to lie, by the way.
Again, this was one of those where I immediately just threw a name down on my paper, and it worked out last time.
So you're going, that's your
I'm also
plan?
trying to think of how you operate.
How do I operate?
I'm trying to figure that out. It's definitely one of those Star Wars quotes that you can slap in any like movie, pretty much.
Or is it? Dun dun dun.
Yeah. James, did you write anything down?
I have something now, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, it makes sense that this person would say it, but I don't remember them saying it, and that's not a good sign.
I feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
All right, one more time before we reveal. The quote is, "We think hitting the cannons might ignite the main reactors."
I'm probably wrong, but I'm not gonna change my answer. So.
All right, you guys good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,
We're both so excited.
2,
Yeah.
3.
Poe Dameron.
Rose Tico.
It is Rose Tico from The
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker.
So it's the same scenario, but I didn't think about Rose. It's got to be on Crate.
Poe spoke. No, it's when they're in the base on Algen Kloss.
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
About
so,
the Sarge.
But the crazy thing is, James, is that Poe's line is right before this one. So you were right there.
Dang. No,
All right.
I wasn't right there because I was on
I meant
Crate.
right there in the sense of like the character before had spoken. All right.
Yeah.
So we're currently sitting 4-2.
TRB showcasing Rose Tico Rise of Skywalker quotes. There you go.
All right. So the third quote is, "But these are my friends. But these are my friends."
What's the rest of the quote?
That is the quote. Every single quote I have was on its own in the movies, and I did it with subtitles. So.
Oh, I got it.
So we're now
I
at
think.
question number 3 of Who Are You? John has 4 points. James has 2 points. Very active game we have here.
Yeah.
I wonder how the people at home are playing.
Yeah, I wonder if they got the Rose Tico one. I bet a lot of people got the Moff Gideon one. I have a feeling a lot of people got it.
Really?
Only because
I
I
didn't
feel
want
like
to make it too easy, but at the same time, I wanted to make it something somewhat
I feel
memorable.
like a lot of people doing their Mando rewatches. Everyone's very giddy for Gideon, as we all know.
Especially you.
I mean, TRB is very giddy for Gideon.
No, especially you. The most.
I think I got this one. So
All
we
right.
can do it.
So the quote, one more time, is, "But these are my friends." And ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Leia. Return of the
But
Jedi.
these are my friends. It's Princess Leia, Return of the Jedi. She sang it to the Ewoks as they're roasting Han.
Okay.
I originally had C-3PO.
No.
And I crossed
But
it out.
these are my friends.
Yeah.
All right. So we're sitting at 6 and 4. Very active game today. I think this is the most points we've ever had on a game that I'm hosting.
We're doing all right.
All right. Next up, number 4 is, "He will not let me down." He will not let me down. So this is number 4 of 9. Currently, John is on a hot streak,
Yeah, that's
but
about
James
to end
is
real quick.
closely behind him. What?
That's about to end real quick, I think.
Can't you hear that line, by the way? But these
Yes.
are my friends.
Oh, yes. When they're about to get cooked.
So just
what's
for a
this
fun
line
fa-
again?
The line is, "He will not let me down." So a lot of people ask, how do you get quotes? Because as we all know here on TRB, I've had a lot of trouble with this game in the past where I've tried looking quotes up on IMDb. I've looked at YouTube clips. This time I used Disney Plus. I selected a movie. I randomly just clicked on the timeline somewhere and I picked a line from the scene that came up.
I may be screwing this whole thing up here.
I
Say
think
it
I
again?
got a name.
Oh, you do? Say it one more time.
Okay, the quote one more time is, "He will not let me down."
I gotta go with my instincts again.
I'm starting to second guess it, so we better get moving.
All right. Show your answers. 1, 2, 3.
Lando?
Anakin.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi and Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
And he's talking about Anakin.
He is talking about Anakin,
So-
saying he will
About going
not
to
let him down.
confront Palpatine?
Yeah. So
Oh.
I had Anakin and I felt really confident about it. And then when I was just sitting here saying I'm starting to second guess it, I was leaning towards Obi-Wan. But I stuck with Anakin because I thought it could be Anakin talking about Obi-Wan, and it also could be Anakin talking about R2 in that scene where he's like, R2 will be along soon. He will not let me down.
You said
I could
Anakin,
see him saying that.
You said Anakin.
We both got it wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking Lando when he's talking to Nien Nub about Han getting the shield down in time.
Nah. I know those lines a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
All right.
man,
We got to give him
I
more
was
time.
so close. I should have changed it.
All right, so
Dang it.
6-4 entering question 5.
Question 5 is, they say when the coaxiums are found, we collect it up there.
I mean,
They say when the coaxiums are found, we collect it up there.
I hope I don't miss this.
I put this in here being like, all right, let's see how much he wants to make Solo 2 happen.
oh, that's ridiculous.
Now this is like me.
Da-da-da.
This is like in a whole game of trivia. There's one Star Wars question, and now the pressure to get that one is right.
Yes.
So what's the quote again?
The quote is, they say when the coaxiums are found, we collect it up there. Could it be, collect it up there? Or could it be,
That's the one. We already used Chewbacca for the first one though, so I don't know.
right.
James, do you have an answer?
I have an answer. Do
All right,
are you hesitant?
I am very hesitant.
For the people at
Really?
home,
All right.
one more time, the quote is, they say when the coaxiums are found, we collect it up there. All right, show your answers. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Enfys Nest?
Beckett.
It is Beckett.
Oh. Damn it.
John! Oh, man, this is a game.
So many people talk about that GD coaxium in that movie.
I knew you were going to freak yourself out. I knew it.
I felt pretty good about that because I was like, it's not Lando. I don't think it's Kira. It's obviously not Chewbacca.
Is it them in the elevator?
No, it's when she's saying, you're the good guy, and he interrupts them.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we sitting at with score, John?
6-6, heading into question 6.
6.
You got a
All
game.
right.
Order 66.
Question
That means Palpatine's next.
number 6.
crazy.
I wonder how everyone's doing at home. Question number 6. Come on. Don't look at me like that. Come on. Don't look at me like that. That is the next quote. 6-6. Well, this is a good game. This is a fun game. There's someone at home that's going, these are so easy.
Mate, probably.
But yeah, so it can get tricky, especially when you're on the spot. I feel like my brain just like checks out sometimes because I'm like, even if I know it and I can picture it.
This one's really hard, though, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da.
Out of the box.
Yeah.
I honestly was like, this is the previous one I thought was going to be super easy because I put coaxium in there. I was like, oh, they're going to get this. But you know what? Let's throw some Star Wars-y terms in there.
Let me hear it again.
Read it again.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't look at me like that. We're on number 6 of 9. We're at a tied game
All
right
right.
now.
I have a guess.
All right, James, are you going to guess too? Write down a name. Also, you guys still have your hints, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was just considering. I was like, is this one that I go for the hint? Because John might get 0 and I'd get 1 on it.
So I don't mean to keep it silent, guys. Sorry, the people at
sorry.
home. They're
I
focusing.
just changed my answer, so that's going to be interesting.
So again, we're at number 6.
I'm I'm gonna take the hint. I don't know why.
Okay.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna do it.
All right. Well, as
So
they're
we are
exchanging
providing
hints-
the hint to James. Let's make
Yeah.
sure I don't text the group chat.
Yeah.
And so I
Well, I
am
don't want the
texting
hint, so do
him
not, yeah.
the hint. So James should be receiving said hint of what movie or show this quote is from.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So the game is still 6-6. We're all tied up. This is a
We're all tied
close
up.
game.
Close game.
Close game.
Close game. Round
John
6.
did not get the solo question right.
Did not.
He has forfeited.
I don't like solo anymore.
Oh, stop. Don't be weird.
Okay,
Okay, you guys ready?
No, you got to, because now that I know the movie, I have an advantage. I just got to think like.
Well, do you want
who-
me to read the quote again?
No, I mean it's come on, don't look at me like that, right?
It is, in fact, that quote. So yeah, we
Yeah,
had
I-
some
I don't know
chats
if
with
I-
our patrons about wanting to do this publicly with you guys chiming in, maybe as a live stream. So we're trying to figure out how that would work. But that could be fun. We're thinking about it.
Man, I'm kind of scared to write down a different name.
You know the movie. What are you scared about? I'm going in blind here, pal.
I know, but
I got the blast shield down. I can't see a thing.
Are you kidding me? I'm blind.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you ready? For the people at home, this is number 6 of 9, and the quote is, "Come on, don't look at me like that."
Okay.
And we're showing our answers. 1, 2, 3.
Han Solo.
L3.
It is Beckett from Solo: A Star Wars Story. When he betrays Solo at the end, and he comes in, and Solo looks heartbroken, and he goes, "Come on, don't look at me like that." I even read it exactly like he read it.
I
But
thought it was
Yeah.
the look. I was thinking the scene where Han's leaving with his reward in A New Hope.
Yeah.
And,
so
he's like, don't look at me like that. Ah, damn it.
I wrote Han Solo as well, but then she said Solo, and I said that was the hint. It was from Solo, and I was like, I don't remember him saying it in that movie. I was thinking what you were thinking, John, like older Han Solo.
Yeah.
all right,
The closest the reason I wrote L3 just real quick was because of the scene where she's talking to Kira, and she's like, "What are you gonna do about your problem?" and all that. And I thought maybe somewhere in that
But
line, like,
you
"Come
know-
on, don't look at me like that."
That shows good character writing because, like we were saying, Han eventually becomes like Beckett,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was an old Han Solo line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
So all right, so we're at 6-6.
6-6. James has used his hint. We are at
Yeah.
number 7, and the quote is, "It bothers him because he knows it's possible." It bothers him because he knows it's possible. The game is 6-6. We've had now 2 solo questions.
Yeah. Oh man.
Quote one more time is, "It bothers him."
One more time. We need like 6 more times.
It bothers him because he knows it's possible.
Man,
So I wonder how you guys are doing at home. I know it can be a
Yeah.
little tricky when you're put on the spot.
it bothers him because he knows it's possible.
And we are doing our Who Are You game, where
Yep.
you guess quotes from the movies and shows live action.
James, did you write something down?
I think so. I mean, I did.
Ready?
No, I don't have anything written down yet.
Do you want to take the hint?
No. I want to hear it one more time.
The quote is, "It bothers him because he knows it's possible." And for the people at home, I'm drinking Pepsi Cherry.
Pepsi Cherry.
Also, I've said the people at home like 60 times. I'm so sorry. Or people are like, "Shut up."
People at home, listeners.
The listeners, my friends.
It's people in their car, more likely. Actually,
in the car. I hope you're enjoying this little game. Okay, John, ready?
Yeah.
you got it.
One more time. It bothers him because he knows it's possible. And 1, 2, 3.
Anakin Skywalker.
It's not even a question. It's Chirrut from Rogue One, buddy. I got that right away. She doesn't even have to confirm it.
It is Chirrut when he's praying and for the door to open. And he's praying for the door to open. And he goes, it bothers him because he knows it's possible.
Damn, nice grab.
Oh
All right,
my
so
God.
8-6 James.
This might be an upset.
No, it's no upset. It's just,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
We got 2 more questions.
Yeah. I'm at.
You guys ready? The next one is, well, looks like they're happy to see us. Well, looks like they're happy to see us. And we're at number 8 of our Who Are You game. So we have 2 more questions if we're not tied. Right now we are 8-6. Correct?
Yeah.
8-6 James. The quote is, well, looks like they're happy to see us. It is a crazy game of Who Are You? Do you guys have a character?
Something written down?
I have something written down.
You ready?
Yeah, I got something written down too.
1, 2, 3.
Cara Dune.
Anakin Skywalker, Attack of the Clones.
It is the Mandalorian in Chapter 4. Close, but not.
I was going with
So-
when Obi-Wan was like, "You're right. She was pleased to see us." And like,
No.
when-
So it's
Man.
funny you say that, James, because I was shocked that he's the one that says that to her.
That's 100%. I was like, that doesn't seem like a Mandalorian line. That is definitely a Cara Dune line. It's in episode 4. It's when they
He
come
turns
back.
to her and says it to her, and she goes, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
So now I have to hit this, and James has to miss.
That was my breakaway chance to win. I was so close.
I should have taken my hint there. Now I can't take a hint. I have to hit this, and you have to miss.
Yeah.
You should have taken a hint.
If you
Yeah.
would have taken the hint there, you would have gotten Mandalorian, and you probably would have clued in a lot better.
I still probably wouldn't have gotten it. All right.
All
Here we go.
right.
Dang, I was
Last
so
last
close
question.
on
This is it.
2 of these, I was like, it's either Anakin or Obi-Wan. I missed it.
So we are at the last question here. James is in the lead by 2. Number 9 is, we must go tell the others at once. We must go tell the others at once. This is to save John to proceed into sudden death, right?
Yeah.
We are 8 questions down. This is number 9. Hopefully you guys at home are enjoying the game so far. Yeah, so James, that they're on the cart in chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when he said it and I watched that scene, I was like, wow, that's a weird thing for him to say. Because it doesn't seem like his character to say it, but I guess it's because she was like making a face or whatever. But and then they see Baby Yoda and they're like, "Aww." So right now we are at 8-6.
Yeah, James is up 8-6.
Yep.
And this is the last question.
Yep. You guys ready? One more time.
Yeah, read it one more time.
We must go tell the
I don't
others
have a
at
name even.
once. That is the quote. We must go tell the others at once.
I have a guess. I don't think it's right though. But
All right.
wait, James hasn't written anything down yet.
Yep.
No.
James, if you missed this, it's okay. You go into sudden death.
I have to get it right. I don't think I have it right.
Dun, dun, dun. There's a lot on the line right now. I think this is the closest game we've ever had. People at home having fun, listen to this.
I think we've had other games where it came down to the last question, did we not?
Yeah.
I don't think we have.
I think we have. We've had sudden deaths before, I think.
Have we?
Yeah. Well, read one last time.
Last time, the final quote is, "We must go tell the others at once." This is number 9.
Wait, I might change my
Number
answer.
9.
Number 9. This is the sudden death kind of question for John, because if he doesn't get this, then he loses. And it is an upset for the ages. I got you
All
for
right.
3 minutes. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Padme.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
It is C-3PO from The Force Awakens.
Oh, I had C-3PO written down and I crossed it out. I
He
had
goes,
it down. I
R2,
crossed
we
it
must
out.
tell the others at once.
Oh, why did I change my answer? What an idiot.
Do you want to hear what
Congrats,
my other
James.
quotes were?
So I was wrong, but I was really happy to be wrong because it still meant I
'Cause you won.
So
Yeah.
the winner is James.
Good
Do you
job,
guys want to
buddy.
know the other 3 just so you can see if you got them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that real quick. By the way,
This-
you need to put that belt in the mail.
I got to send it through.
I expect overnight
it.
shipping.
Grab it.
Yeah, here, I'll just... Oh, wait, how do we do this? It's...
I had C-3PO written down. I can't believe I changed it.
You know
Okay.
why I wrote Padme because I thought Lacey would stick a stupid Padme quote in here
Yeah.
somewhere.
No Padmes
but
this
I
time.
kind of... Yeah.
All right.
All right. So the other 3 quotes that I had as bonuses were, "Blast it, my gun's jammed." Blast it, my gun's jammed.
Guns jammed.
Well, it's gotta be A New Hope.
It is Luke
Yeah, that sounds
Skywalker, A
right.
New Hope, when he's
Yeah.
getting strangled by the Dianoga. He goes, "Blasted, my gun's jammed."
Yeah, because they never
Yeah.
used gun again after A New Hope.
Next is, "Only a Jedi could have erased those files."
Oh, that's
Only a Jedi could have erased those files.
Oh, wait.
Yoda?
It is Yoda, and it's the weirdest thing because he doesn't say the sentence backwards.
So, if I had left C-3PO, I would have...
And then last was, "We're not going to worry about
Well,
anything right now."
We're not giving myself time to
No, I
think
know.
about it or
What
play.
We're
was
it.
the
not
last-
going to worry about anything right now, was the last quote.
We're not going to worry about anything right now?
Yes. We're not going to worry about anything right now. It is Anakin talking to Padme when she's pregnant in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, right.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a happy moment, the happiest day of my life, yeah.
Yes.
Great. Hey, congrats, James. Great job, man. And good quotes,
Oh.
Lacey. Those were tough.
I thought they were
Dang.
tough, but then there was a mixture.
No, they were good. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah,
I think people probably did better than we did. That'd be my guess, but
MVP moment was me getting Beckett in the solo
Yes.
quote and John missing it.
yeah,
Ultimately.
Ugh.
yeah.
So
Great job.
I feel better now. I finally defeated both of you. I've lost to both of you and beat you both. So I feel good.
I like that it came down to the end too. You know, that's good theater. But no, great job, good game, good win, all around fun time. And everyone, let us know how you did. What was your score? So on YouTube, drop down what your score was. James had 8, I had 6. Did you beat us?
I had 100%.
Lacey was-
18 possible points.
I know. You know, some liar is gonna be like 18, 18, 18, 18. We know you're lying. And then hit us up on Twitter too at RBATSWNN. Quote tweet the episode with your score. Let us know how you did, and let other people know to try and play the game. But we'll bring it back down the line. We know you guys love it. James now has a title to defend, and it's going to be against Lacey next time. So I'm gonna bring the vengeance via very difficult quotes. No, that was fun.
They're all going to be Beckett quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right, but now we are going to hear from all of you in Resistance Transmissions. So we're going to send it to Lacey to get through your
Ow.
tweets.
Missed opportunity. I could have sent it to myself.
Hashtag missed opportunities.
Thanks, Lacey.
Out of the box.
It's time
Lots
for
of giving.
Resistance Transmissions. So as you guys know, every week John puts up a crazy, wacky situation on Twitter, and you guys give your answers. And I don't know what the scenario is. I don't know what your answers are, and I read them live, and we just see what happens. It's fun. It's a good time. All right. So the situation on Twitter this week was J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson are drinking at a bar wearing their hashtag Star Wars director jackets. Do they get director jackets?
Probably.
Oh, big time.
They see Colin Trevorrow across the bar. Of course, no jacket. They have the bartender send him a drink on them with a note. What does the note say? First up is Stephen Bowman at Stephen A. Bowman. Hey, Stephen. He said, quote, "You must be working on the new Matrix film. The way you dodged that bullet." Scribbled drawing of Kylo Ren in black trench coat with glasses or sunglasses. Want to be best friends? Yes, no. I love the yes, no. You want a date? Yes, no. Next up is Mark at Dekine Awakens.
What's up, Mark?
At Dekine Awakens. Kind Awakens. He said, "You deserve a warm jacket to wear too. There's a tauntaun parked outside. They smell bad, kid, but it'll keep you warm."
Oh.
And then it breaks through the window.
Yes, yeah.
Next up is Rick Villanueva at Cad Bane's Bounty. Rick, I wonder if you got a Cad Bane figure. They went pretty quick. By the way, so much drama with that. I got an email of it. I took the picture out of the email, put the link up, and people were like, "It's already sold out. Why'd you post this?" And I was like, I literally sent it out when I got the email. Anyway, people get mad. Next up is oh no, I didn't read his yet. Rick said, multiple musical notes, the sun'll come out. Trevorrow, multiple musical notes, tough break kid, JJ/RJ.
A little orphan Annie.
Unreal.
I don't know that one.
You don't know the musical Annie?
Nope.
The sun will come out.
Oh, there you go.
Tomorrow.
Which
Yeah.
bottom dollar? That...
Next is
Oh, and then it's the sun will come out. Trevorrow.
There
Yeah.
it is. Yep.
out of the box. Next is Daniel Gillum at Dark Knight DG. And Daniel said, posts a gif of Gretchen Wiener from Mean Girls screaming, "You can't sit with us!" Lacey Chabert. "You can't sit with us!"
Oh, that's the second Lacey Chabert reference on the pod this week, I think.
Yeah. I'm wondering how he posts a gif on a on a napkin, but I'll let it slide. All right, next
It's an
is
expensive
Kyle.
napkin.
Yeah, Kale B at Luke's Green Saber. He said, "Hey, big guy, we're sorry you, how do you put it, lost the Star War?" Cackling from across the bar.
Oh, because he has that line in his
Yeah.
script.
Yeah. Next up is Andrew Staley at Deuce_Staley, and Andrew said, "You want my trilogy? Signed Ryan. P.S. It's a trap. Signed JJ."
I like that one.
That is good. Next up is Patrick Russell at Patrick B. Russell. And Patrick said, "Oh, you lucky bastard." Does it have an H in it like that?
Just have bastard, like pronouncing it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you lucked out, right? Next is Alec Larson at Smark Alec Review. And Alec said, "So, did you leak that script or..." All right, guys. Thank you so much for giving your answers. If you want to be on the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN. And every week, John puts up a scenario and you give your answers. And you can be on the show. It's a good time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Back to you, John.
So, thank you everybody for listening and watching, playing Who Are You, and being a part of TRB. We hope you had a good time. Make sure you do subscribe to the show. We got the Mando Fan Show coming up later this month on October 30th, right after the debut of The Mandalorian. Well, that night. So subscribe to the show on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify. We're noticing a lot more people joining us over on Spotify. So yeah, definitely hit us up over there. Podbean, wherever you prefer your audio version of the podcast, we're there. So subscribe, because we have 2 shows every week, Monday, Thursday, and then of course Mando Fan Shows coming on Fridays. So you're gonna have 3 shows a week, and then obviously we have a bunch of other stuff that we do on the YouTube channel and of course on Patreon. But yeah, like we talked about before, and James mentioned, patreon.com/resistance broadcast. If you want to support the show, we really appreciate all the support. It helps us do more things, improve our equipment, make more content, spend more time creating content, all down the line. And you get access to 9 mini episodes a month, in addition to other things as the tiers rise up. So go check us out over there, patreon.com/resistance broadcast. Starts at $2 a month. We appreciate that. StarWarsNewsNet.com for all of your Star Wars news, of course, your reviews, editorials, great team over there. Best place to get accurate and good, well-written Star Wars news. Good team. Teespring.com/store/resistance broadcast. It's getting cold, folks. If you want a hoodie, we got TRB hoodies. These things are so soft. You'll never get a better sleep than nestled in the lap of a Wookiee or in a TRB hooded sweatshirt.
I got my pin too.
Makes a little too happen pins. Yeah, you get a makes a little too happen pin, because look, it's on James's bag. So you can be on Twitter all day talking about makes a little too happen, but not everyone's on Twitter. You got to wear the t-shirts, you got to get the pin. Just keep spreading the word, because every time I go out with my makes a little too happen t-shirt, people are like, yeah, I'd like that movie. You know what? I like that movie. So yeah, pick up your pins, pick up your shirts, and let's keep that going so that we can stop doing it and they can finally make it. But you guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and Star Wars Newsnet. James?
And then not get invited to the premiere or anything.
Right, exactly.
Twitter and Instagram at Myra Trunks. I think it's still the same as it was last week, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Lacey?
You can find me being the real winner tonight.
Yeah.
Today at Lacey Gillerin on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay,
You know this reminds me of when we met after the movie, when we did the challenge thing.
Mm-hmm.
I won, and Lacey still said, "I'm the real winner," though, and I was like, "No, I'm the."
And then I
real
lost the whole
winner."
thing anyway because John ended up winning.
So James won the whole thing, but the twist was I thought I came in last, but there was something that happened that turns out I beat Lacey, so she was in last.
Yeah,
but in the end, you still won the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys were fighting over who won and who didn't. I was like, I won.
Fighting over
all.
second, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won the solo
spot.
challenge. I have that to hold on to.
Well, you cheated.
As the creator.
No.
Just kidding.
All right.
Just kidding.
So, the code word is out of the box for today.
Out of the box.
Obviously.
Yeah, so comment with out of the box or hit us up with out of the box. Quote tweet the episode with out of the box so we know that you stayed.
Struck with copyright by out of the box.
Yeah.
No, I still think it's a made up show, but
it's not. Hold on.
Thank you
I'll pull up
all
the theme song.
Very much for watching and listening. We hope you have a great weekend. Happy birthday to my brother. Today is his birthday, so we're going to have a fun time this weekend.
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah. And we'll see you all on Monday morning with another episode right here on the Resistance Broadcast. See you around, kids.
Bye.